जाता है उसका लिरिक्स आता है, पहले लिरिक्स को याद कर लेंगे तब गाएंगे।
हरे कृष्ण Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to Kartik Katha 2025. We apologize for the delay. Prabhuji was serving some other class, so he just joined in. Thank you very much, Amarendra Prabhu, for serving back-to-back classes. Very, very grateful to you. So, dear devotees, today is a very, very auspicious day. Today is appearance day of Shri Shri Radha Kund and also Bahulastami. The bhajan, like the kirtan that you are hearing, was sung by his guest Amarendra Prabhu on the same day, about 16 years ago. It was such a beautiful voice that you heard. So without further delay, I would request Prabhuji to get started with today's katha. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, everyone. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. I do know we are starting with a delay because I had another service, another Harikatha class to be given, which is every Monday morning. So the future Mondays also we'll have a delay by 15 minutes because it takes time. You finish the class and then come home and then serve all of you. So for the next 2-3 Mondays also that we have in Kartik Katha, this will be the same schedule. We'll start 15 minutes late. So that's one. Second, since we're already starting late, my request is I'll leave it to all of you during the day to read the verses of the Bhagavatam. We will directly get started with the discussion because if we start reading the verses, then that'll take another 10-15 minutes. So all of you can kindly, whenever you have time during the day, read the verses of the 8th chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. So yesterday we saw, in the continuation of our discussion of very beautiful, wonderful baby pastimes of Gopal in Vrindavan. So now we will see what Srila Shukdev Goswami has in store for all of us. We will read the next verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, entitled Lord Krishna Shows the Universal Form, Text 21. So we have covered in our systematic daily study, we have covered up to text 20. So we will take 21 today. Kalena vrajatalpena gokule ramakeshavau janubhyam sahapanibhyam ringamano vijahratu. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. After a short time passed, both brothers Rama and Krishna began to crawl on the ground of Vraja with the strength of their hands and knees and thus enjoy their childhood play. Srila Prabhupada's purport. One Brahmana devotee says, Shrutim apare smritim itare bharata manye bhajantu bhavbhitaha aham iha nandam vande yasyalinde param brahma. Let others, fearing material existence, worship the Vedas, the Vedic supplementary Puranas and the Mahabharata. But I shall worship Nanda Maharaj, in whose courtyard the Supreme Brahman is crawling. For an highly exalted devotee, Kaivalya, merging into the existence of the Supreme, appears no better than hell, Narakayate. But here one can simply think of the crawling of Krishna and Balaram in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj and always merge in transcendental happiness. As long as one is absorbed in thoughts of Krishna Leela, especially Krishna's childhood pastimes, as Parikshit Maharaj desired to be, one is always merged in actual Kaivalya. I will read that line again. Kaivalya means liberation. As long as one is absorbed in thoughts of Krishna Leela, especially Krishna's childhood pastimes, as Parikshit Maharaj desired to be, one is always merged in actual Kaivalya. Therefore, Vyasadeva compiled Srimad Bhagavatam lokasya ajanato vidvams chakre satvata samhitam. Vyasadeva compiled Srimad Bhagavatam under the instruction of Narada so that anyone can take advantage of this literature, think of Krishna's pastimes and always be liberated. And Srila Prabhupada repeats, Shrutim apare, smritim itare, bharatamanye bhajantu bhavabhitaha, aham iha nandam vande yasyalinde param brahma. Which means I bow down to Nanda and Yashoda, in whose courtyard God learns the art of walking. So, Krishna is growing up little by little by little in the beautiful house of Nanda and Yashoda. And in the last few days of discussion, we saw right from Krishna's appearance, Krishna's cradle pastimes. Krishna as a little infant, little baby, gets pampered, loved by Mother Yashoda, by Nanda Baba, by all the motherly gopis in the neighborhood. And here Shukdev Goswami says, Kalena Vrajata Alpena. Alpena Kalena, with the passage of time. Apavarge tu Tritiya. This is a sutra in Sri Harinamamrit Vyakaranam by Sri Jiva Goswami, that whenever you have to show the completion of an activity in a stipulated time period, then the Tritiya Vibhakti is used. So Alpena Kalena, by the movement of time, Vrajata, by the movement of short time, Gokule Rama Keshava, Ram and Keshav, Rama and Krishna, they both Gokule, in this beautiful pasture grounds of cows and calves in Braj. What did they do? Janu Bhyam Saha Pani Bhyam. Janu and Pani. Janu means knees and Pani means palms. With their knees and their palms, Ringamarno. Ringamarno means they started to crawl. Krishna and Balaram as the most wonderful dark complexion monsoon rain cloud, Krishna, and the most attractive white spring cloud, Balaram. They're both crawling on the beautiful pasture grounds of Vrindavan. They're crawling between the cows and calves of Braj. There's so much dust and cow dung and cow urine, and Krishna and Balaram are crawling. Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has composed a very beautiful verse where he says, the gopis, the motherly gopis, they tell Krishna, "Oh Krishna, just now we bathed you so well. Just now we washed your body, cleansed your body, and applied fragrant scented oils and fragrant cosmetics in the form of chandan and aguru and camphor and kumkum. Just now we decorated your body so wonderfully with beautiful clothes and ornaments. Just now we tied up your hair, and as soon as we got back to our home to do other things and turned back, you are in a puddle of mud." Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wrote that the motherly gopis headed by Sri Yashodarani, they would tell Krishna, "Just now we finished bathing you, and as soon as we turned, you are swimming there in a mud pool, in a puddle of mud in Sri Vrindavan Dham." As Krishna learns to crawl, our acharyas explain, "Mrudu mrudu vihasantau unmishad dantavantau vadana patita keshav drishya padabja deshav bhuja galita karanta vyalagat kankananko matim aharat muchaihi pashyatam Vishwandranam." Sri Narayana Bhattatri writes that Mrudu Mrudu Vihasanto, Krishna, as you started to crawl, Mrudu Mrudu Vihasanto, you are started to smile so sweetly. So Vihasanta means to smile, special smile. And Mrudu Mrudu means very soft smile, tender smile, little smile. Krishna smiling so sweetly, Mrudu Mrudu Vihasanto and Unmishat Dantavanto. And just a few teeth have started to come in the mouth. Remember, Krishna, where is your teeth? And he put his finger in his mouth and said, Utpanna, na, my teeth have not come yet. So as Krishna is crawling, Unmishad Dantavanto. Our acharyas have even said that Krishna, as he would crawl, he would sometimes go and lay down on a calf. And sometimes the calf would lay down next to Gopal as he's crawling. And Krishna would open the mouth of the calf and he would start to cry, telling his mother, look, the calf is younger than me and he has got all his teeth in his mouth. But I have been cheated by Brahmaji that I am older than a calf, but I still don't have all my teeth. I have most of my teeth, but not all my teeth. So Unmishad Dantavanto, Krishna is showing he's flashing his fresh teeth in his mouth with his very tender, soft smile. And Vadana Patita Keshav Drishya Padabja Deshav. As Krishna is walking, when you see him from ahead, then his hair are all on his forehead. Mother Yashoda has tied up Krishna's hair like a rishi. All of his locks of soft black curly hair are tied up like a rishi. Krishna as Yogeshwar, as the Munishwar, the best among yogis and munis, because he's Kapila. He's Kapila Muni, as the son of Mother Devahuti. So he's a rishi. So Mother Yashoda has tied up his hair in a head bun. But as he's crawling with so much effort that all of that is opened up and those locks of soft black curly hair are coming on. They have covered his forehead and now they're also covering his vision. So Mother Yashoda has to remove those locks and tie them back so that Krishna can see when he's crawling. And Vadana Patita Keshav. This is the verse. Vadana means face, Patita means to fall, and Kesha means hair. Locks of soft black curly hair, they fall on his face. Just like Krishna's face is a lotus, and lotus has nectar, and to drink that nectar, you need black bumblebees. So idam te mukhambojam atyanta nile vratam kuntalai snigdha raktaischa gopya. Even Satyavrat Rishi says, Krishna, your face, idam te mukha ambuja. Your face is a lotus, and your sweetness is the honey in the middle of that lotus. And all the locks of your soft black curly hair, when they're coming on your face, they are like the black bumblebees, honeybees, who are drinking this sweetness nectar from the lotus of your face. Wow. And when you see Krishna from behind, then Drishya Padabja Desho, then you can see pink lotus flowers walking away from you in the form of the sole of Krishna's feet. When you see ahead, you see black bumblebees drinking the nectar of the lotus, blue lotus face. And when you see from behind, then you see pink lotuses running away from you. As Krishna is crawling ahead, we see those lotus feet moving away from us. And Bhuja Galita Karanta Vyalagat Kankananko. Wow. Narayana Bhattatripad writes that Krishna has been put bracelets and Krishna has been put armlets by Mother Yashoda. Okay? So he has kankananko. He has nice armlets and he has wrist bells, or we can say bracelets. So as he is crawling, the Acharya writes, Bhuja Galita Karanta. As Krishna is walking, these armlets are slipping down and they have met the bracelets. Krishna is crawling and these armlets are on his arm, but as soon as he starts moving his arm now, they have started to slip down and they're meeting the bracelets. So the armlets have become the bracelets. Matim aharatam uchchaihi pashyatam vishwandrunam. Anyone who looks at baby Gopal crawl, matim aharat uchchaihi pashyatam vishwandrunam. The whole world, as they are enthralled looking at, as spectators, they're enraptured looking at Krishna. Matim aharat, their minds, their buddhi, their consciousness is completely stolen by this butter thief, Sri Krishna. In this context, it is described by another Acharya here, that when Krishna was crawling one day, he was crawling, and suddenly he saw birds. This is the first time Krishna has started to see things which are not human beings. So seeing birds, seeing animals, cows, calves, it's like a discovery for Krishna. Because he's covered by Yoga Maya, so he doesn't remember that he's God. So he's crawling and he's seeing birds. They're all flying, so he forgets to crawl. He's just sitting there and looking at birds. And Sri Kavi Karnapur writes, Karabhyam Janubhyam Laghu Laghu Chalan Ratna Ghatita प्रघाने तत्प्रान्तावरणमणिदण्डेषु वसतां प्रतिच्छायां वीणाम् अरुणमृदुलै अङ्गुलिदलै कृतारम्भो धर्तुं व्रजपुरपुरन्द्री सुखयति कराभ्यां जानुभ्यां लघु लघु चलन रत्न घटित प्रघाने तद प्रांतावरण मणिदंडेषु वसतां. Krishna, as he's crawling, karabhyam janubhyam, he's crawling with his palms, he's crawling with his knees, and laghu laghu, very slowly, he's not very fast, little by little he's walking. Sri Hari Suriji has written in this regard that when Krishna and Balaram, they started to crawl, it was almost like telling Mother Earth, "Oh Mother Earth, you called us to reduce the burden on your back. We are your children and we are giving you massage." Just like a mother, this is, even our experience in this world, that when mother, she's working for a long time and she has a little child, she's been working in the kitchen for a long time and now her shoulder or her back is hurting. So sometimes she may tell her little child, "Can you walk on my back?" She lays down on the back and she tells the little child, "Can you walk on my back is hurting." So that child with little tender palms and then little tender feet is walking on the back of the mother, and this relieves the mother. I'm not sure whether it relieves of the pain of the back, but it gives so much joy to the heart that maybe the pain of the back becomes secondary. So Mother Earth, Prithvi Bhara Nasho Mukundaha, she appeared to Brahmaji out of pain on her back, that so many unsaintly kings are living on my back, lives of unsaintly adharmic behavior, so please help me. So Krishna and Balaram have come to reduce the burden of Mother Earth. So as babies, when they are crawling on the back of Mother Earth, it's like babies helping their mother who has back pain relieve with those little tender knees and little tender palms. They're giving a little back massage to their mother. "Oh Maya, oh Mother Earth, don't worry, very soon we will grow up and we'll do it. But now we have started giving you massage." So with their palms and karabhyam janubhyam laghu laghu chalan, Krishna and Balaram, they walk very sweetly. Actually, it is a fact that Acharyas have also explained in other places that Krishna and Balaram, they would crawl all day. They would crawl all day, and Yashoda Rani and Rohini Maya, both, they would have their eye on Krishna and Balaram. Where are they going? So Krishna and Balaram would start to crawl in the morning, and they're crawling from one room to another. They're crawling in the courtyard. They're crawling in the backyard. They're crawling through the legs of the cows, because the cows also love Krishna and Balaram, so they're not going to hurt them. And they're walking through the legs of the calves. And it's described, sometimes they hold the tail of the calf also, and they try to stand up. Sri Vallabhacharya has written in his commentary that Krishna and Balaram, sometimes they try to hold the tail of the calf. They can't reach to the tail of a cow. The tail of a calf, much shorter. They're trying to hold, and they try to stand up, but they don't have so much strength, so they fall back again. And they continue to crawl. They continue to crawl. Our acharyas explain, as they're crawling through cow dung and cow urine and dust, Krishna and Balaram, by the end of the day, they both look like each other. They're both covered by cow dung and cow urine and dust, and they have so much love for each other that Krishna and Balaram, because of spending time with one another, they start looking like one another. So our acharyas describe that when Krishna and Balaram, they go to sleep, Rohini Devi looks at Krishna and she's convinced that this is my Balaram. And Yashoda Rani looks at Balaram and she's convinced that this is my Krishna. This has also been described by our acharyas, that Krishna and Balaram, when they go off to sleep, they start looking like one another. How beautiful is that? This is the crawling glory of Krishna and Balaram. So now, back to the words that we were discussing. Karabhyam janubhyam laghu laghu chalan ratna ghatita praghane tad pranta varanam manidandeshu vasatam pratichayam veena. Krishna one day was crawling and he came to the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj in Nanda Bhavan. And there all these pillars they are Ratna Jatita. Nanda Maharaj had so much money that all these pillars have, they're all studded by stones, touchstones. So when Krishna is crawling, for the first time he looked at the pillar, and there Prati Chayam, there was a reflection of a bird. A bird was sitting somewhere else, and the reflection of the bird was seen on a pillar. And Krishna is looking at the reflection of the bird, and Aruna Mrudulai Anguli Dalaihi, with his palms which are reddish. If they are like lotus, then his fingers are like the petals of that lotus. So Anguli, Aruna Mrudulai Anguli Dalaihi, with the reddish fingers which are like petals of a pink lotus flower. Krishna is pointing with so much amazement at the pillar. Oh, look, oh, so much amazement. So amazing. And Kritarambo Dhartum Vrajapura Purandri Sukhayati. Krishna crawls closer to look at that reflection so closely, almost to go and hold that thing. He doesn't know it's a reflection. So he's almost going to hold and be close to that bird. And at that time, the bird moves its wings and starts to fly. So the reflection also moves. And then suddenly Krishna looks up, and that bird is flying. And looking at that, it's almost like Krishna makes his expressions. He puts his hand out like the wings of the bird, and Krishna goes like this. That I also want to fly. I also want to fly. And in this way, Vraja Pura Purandrihi Sukhayati. Krishna gives joy to Mother Yashoda and all the motherly gopis. As he's crawling, he's looking at the reflection of the birds, pointing in so much amazement. Oh, what is this? I have never seen this before. And he crawls closer and closer as if to hold that bird. And when the bird flies, he's amazed. And he starts moving his hands as if he also wants to fly like those birds. Then other pastimes have been described regarding Krishna's crawling. Mandam sukomala karambuja janu yai kanchi kalena chakita sthagita tvametya paschad savismita vivartita kambu kantham alokayan vitanute janani pramodam. Shri Jiva Goswami Pad has written, Mandam sukomala Karam Bhuja Janu Yai. As Krishna is crawling one day, so Mother Yashoda dresses Krishna so well that Krishna has very nice tinkling ankle bells. Very nice tinkling sound as he is moving. And Mother Yashoda fills him up. Krishna has earrings, Krishna has necklaces, Krishna has armlets, Krishna has bangles. And not just that, Krishna also has waist bells. Very beautiful Kanchi Kalena Chakita. He has wonderful waist bells which have small kinkanis, small bells. So there's a belt around his waist with small tinkling bells. So every step Krishna takes, it's a whole musical concert. When Krishna's crawling and every step he takes, the earrings are swinging. The armlets, they slip down and they meet the bangles. The ankle bells are tinkling. The waist bells also start to tinkle. So it's a whole... Krishna has his own entourage. He has his own musical accompaniments. So it's described, Mandam, Sukomala Karambuja Janu Yai, as Krishna is very softly walking or crawling on his palms and on his knees. This ankle bell, this waist bell, when Mother Yashoda put, it was a new thing for Krishna. He had never heard that sound before. So as he's starting to crawl, the waist bells are making sound. So now Krishna is scared. Where are those sounds coming from? So he starts to crawl, and suddenly the waist bells have started to tinkle. So Chakita, Krishna is astonished. And sthagitatvametya, he stops to crawl out of caution. What's happening? And he looks to the left. Where is the sound coming from? He looks to the right. Where the sound's coming from? And he realizes the sound is not coming anymore. So now he continues to again crawl. As he continues to crawl, with every step that he takes, the waist bells have started to tinkle again. Again, sthagitam. Sthagit means Krishna becomes stunned. And he looks to the left. Where is the sound coming from? There's fear at the same time amazement, at the same time curiosity. What is happening in my life? And he looks ahead, nothing. To the right, to the left, nothing. And then only place to look is Paschat Savismaya Vivartita Kambu Kantham. Krishna now turns his neck completely, and Paschat, he looks behind. And so Vismaya, he looks in amazement, and the word used is Vivartita. So there is, his neck moves around with Kambu Kantha, very beautiful lines on his neck. Sri Rupa Goswami Pada has written, there are lines all over Krishna's body. When Krishna sits as a baby, there are lines on his thighs because of the fat of his thigh. There are lines on his thigh. At the same time, when he is walking, later in our discussion, when Krishna starts to walk, then there are 3 lines on this side of the waist and 3 lines on this side of the waist, because there is so much butter and so much love and so much affection that Krishna has accepted already, that as he's walking, there are like 3 tires. There are 3 layers of loving transcendental fat on Krishna's body. So 3 lines here, 3 lines here, and there are lines on his thighs. At the same time, now when Krishna in his crawling pastime, he turns over, there are 3 lines on his neck, and it's described as Muhushvasa Kampa Trirekanka Kantha. Trirekha. Trirekha means 3 lines on his neck. So next time we hold the conch shell, a shankha, and you put your hands in to blow the conch shell, you'll see that there are 3 lines inside. So that should remind us of the 3 lines on the neck of Krishna. When Krishna moves his neck, there are 3 lines on his neck. So there's 3 lines here, there's 3 lines here, there's 3 lines here, and lines on his thigh. And the one who worships him, Lord Shiva, he also has 3 lines here, 3 lines. So there's, Lord Shiva has 3 lines. So all lines all over Lord Shiva in the form of the bhasma, the tilak, because he's always remembering Bal Gopal, who has 3 lines. Of course, that's not the actual interpretation of the 3 lines, but this is in a very sweet devotional interpretation. So, Paschatsa Vismaya Vivartita Kambu Kantham. Out of amazement, Krishna turns back and sees where the sound is coming from. And at that time, Rohini Devi and Mother Yashoda, they both are looking at him from behind the pillar. And Alokayan Vitanute Janani Pramoda. Both mothers, when they look at Krishna and Balaram and they're turning back, then there is smile exchanged between the child and the mother. Somehow Krishna feels it is Mother Yashoda who's making the sound. That was the answer that he received at the end of it all. Sound is not coming from the left or the right direction or ahead. It seems to come from behind as I'm crawling. So I think my mother is making that sound, and he looks back. Our acharyas have also said in this regard that when Krishna and Balaram started to crawl, they would keep crawling, and as they're crawling, they would also keep looking for their mothers. They would look for their mothers because they're so attached. Krishna is so attached to Mother Yashoda, and Balaram is so attached to Rohini Devi. So they're crawling in the courtyard and they remember their mothers. So now how to know where is my mother? Well, in Vrindavan, the tradition at that time was all Matajis were well dressed, and they would all have ankle bells, and many of them would have their face covered out of culture, etc. So the babies found it very difficult to identify where my mother is. So in their innocence, wherever they heard ankle bells tinkling, any Mataji who is walking with ankle bells, Krishna and Balaram would chase, thinking that this is my Maiya, this is my Maiya. And they would come very close and they would look up, and the Mataji would look down at Gopal, and Gopal would get scared. No, this is not my mother. And then he would turn back and start crawling away. And there's to be another Mataji who's walking away with a pot in her hand, and her feet would also have tinkling ankle bells. Now Krishna would go crawling, chasing that Mataji's lotus feet, thinking that this is my mother Yashoda. And at the end of it all, one after another, after another, after another, so many disappointments, because he would think that this is my Maiya. Of course, this is motherly, but this is not my mother Yashoda. So then finally, after realizing that I cannot find my mother on my own, Krishna would sit down and he would cry so loudly. And Yashoda Maiya would come and pick baby Gopal and play with him, and he would start to smile again. Yashoda Maiya would pick up Gopal and Rohini Maiya would pick Balaram. So beautiful. These two babies, Jagata Janana Hetau Rama Krishna Natosmi. They are the cause of the whole creation. Srila Prabhupada installed Krishna Balaram in the center of the altar of ISKCON Vrindavan. And when devotees asked him, between Krishna and Balaram, who's stronger? Although Balaram was given the name Bala, Baladikyam Balam Vidu, as Gargacharya blessed that this child will have a lot of strength and therefore he should be called Balaram. Srila Prabhupada answered that you find in this world that the one who is stronger will not place his hand or place his arm on the shoulder of a weaker person. You will find that the one who is younger may place his hand on the shoulder of a stronger, older person because the hand can rest comfortably. So Srila Prabhupada said, although Balaram is strong, Krishna is stronger. And therefore Balaram rests his hand on the shoulder of Krishna. Vrindavane Ramana Reti Prasiddha Bhumau Tatrapi Krishna Balarama Supada Mulai Jnanam Param Parama Krishna Sudharmityuktam Dantastu Deva Prabhupada Namo Namaste. Srila Prabhupada is the one who in Raman Reti he established the lotus feet of Krishna Balaram on the altar in Vrindavan. Raman Reti is the eternal place of the crawling of Krishna and Balaram. Raman Reti is the place where Krishna and Balaram would roll in the dust. They would splash each other with the dust. I'm saying splash because that dust of Vrindavan is full of rasa. So they would not smear the dust, they would splash the dust on each other and roll in that dust, Krishna and Balaram. It's called Ramana Reti. Reti means sand and Ramana means frolicking. So from the crawling days, Krishna and Balaram would play with one another in that dust. So what did Srila Prabhupada do? He installed the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram in ISKCON Vrindavan in the center of attention in that neighborhood, in that place called Ramana Reti, and also taught the worship of Krishna and Balaram as the Supreme Lords, the cause of all that exists. So, Dantastu Deva Prabhupada Namo Namaste. With submission, we bow down to His Divine Grace, who gave the worship of Krishna Balaram to the whole world. Ekahi Swarupa Dohe Bhinnamatra Kai Adi Kaya Vyuha Krishna Lilara Sahai Sarva Avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Tahara Dvitiya Deha Shri Balaram. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad has said, Krishna and Balaram are the same person, one person split in two forms. What is the difference? Externally, the difference is one is dark and one is fair. And internally, the difference is one is God as supreme enjoyer and one is God as the supreme servant. So Balaram is God, but in the mood of a servant. And Krishna is God in the mood of being served as the master. That's the only difference. External difference in complexion. One is like a monsoon rain cloud, dark in complexion, Krishna. And one is fair like a white spring cloud, Balaram. That's the external difference. And internally the difference is one is in the mood of an enjoyer, Krishna, as Bhagavan. And one is in the mood of being enjoyed as a servant. That is Balaram. So Krishna is the enjoyer, Balaram is the enjoyed. Krishna is the master, Balaram is also the master, but in the mood of a servant. And now when both of them have forgotten their godhood and they're crawling and playing with each other, it is quite amazing. My Guru Maharaj was explaining in one Harikatha that Krishna and Balaram would gossip a lot. All day as babies, they're sitting and talking to one another. So they have never seen big animals in their life. So first time in Vrindavan when they saw a little fox move, because Vrindavan has everything, but none of those wild animals have anything to do with himsa or violence. They have so much love. Therefore, Prabodhananda Saraswati says, make me a porcupine, no problem. Make me a rhinoceros, no problem. Make me an elephant, no problem. Make me a cow or make me even a lion, but do make me in Vrindavan. Don't make me something outside Vrindavan. So first time when Krishna and Balaram They're crawling and they're sitting in Vrindavan and talking. They're just talking, blabbering, gossiping with one another. Both are laughing, giggling. It's called kilkari in Braj Bhasha. Kilkari means to keep laughing and giggling and making fun of things that don't exist. Just talking. One day, as Krishna and Balaram are talking, a fox passed by. And Krishna's looking at Balaram and says, "Oh God, what will we do now? A big elephant has come into Vrindavan. This is a big elephant. My mother had always told me of elephants. This is the first time. Oh Balaram, what will we do now? Where will we run? How will we protect ourselves? Hi, hum kya kare? It's just a little fox." But Krishna is convinced that this is a big elephant. And he is telling Balaram, quite exciting, quite interesting. So Krishna and Balaram, as they're crawling, such beautiful pastimes have been described. Sri Surdas ji writes now. In his writing, Sri Surdas ji, I'll first quote the Braj Bhasha and then we'll explain. घुटुरुनी चलत श्याम मणि आंगन मात पिता दो देखत रे. Sri Surdas ji says, as Krishna and Balaram are crawling, especially Krishna, when he's crawling, Ghuturuni chalat shyam mani angan. Krishna is crawling in a beautiful stone-studded courtyard. And he's crawling on his knees. Mat pitu do dekhatari. Mother and father, Nanda Baba and Yashoda, both are observing. Look, my Gopal is crawling so sweetly. Oh, he's so wonderful. He's like a condensed cloud burst of rain shower of joy, who's moving just like the cloud is moved by breeze. My Gopal cloud is moved by the breeze of love. Nanda and Yashoda are speaking. कबहु ककिल की तात मुख हेरत कबहु मात मुख पे खतरी. Surdas ji writes that Krishna, when he's crawling, sometimes he looks at Nanda Baba and he's concerned, where is Maiya? You're alone here, where is Maiya? And sometimes he looks at Maiya Yashoda and he says, oh, where is Baba? Sometimes he's looking at mother and remembering the father, and sometimes looking at the father and remembering the mother. लटकन लटकत चलित भाल पर लटकन लटकत ललित भाल पर काजर बिंदु भ्रुव ऊपर रे. Sri Surdas ji writes, Krishna is crawling and all that hair that has been tied little by little by little by little there on his face. Of course, Krishna is Mukunda, he is the giver of liberation. The hair is bound, the hair is in a bondage. So when that is in touch with Mukunda, who is the giver of liberation, that bondage becomes weak and now all that hair becomes liberated. Latakana latakata lalita bhal par. Krishna's forehead is so beautiful. And these locks of soft black curly hair are decorating that forehead. And Kajar Bindu Bhru Uparari. Above Krishna's eyebrows, Mother Yashoda has put a kajal. She has put the blackness of her eyes, the ointment. She has put dots here on just above Krishna's eyebrow. Kajar Bindu Bhru Upar. Bhru means the eyebrow. Just above the eyebrow, Mother Yashoda has put black dots of kajal so that it wards away evil eye and ghosts and things like that. Yah shobha nainani bhari dekhe nahi upmati hu bhupar re. Yah shobha nainani bhari dekhe. Nanda and Yashoda are looking at baby Gopal crawl. Like their eyes are like pots, and they're filling those pot-like eyes with the nectar of Krishna's form. Krishna's form is the moving nectar, and they're drinking that nectar through pots of eyes. Nahi upamati hu bhuparari. In the three worlds, there are no metaphorical comparisons to explain Krishna's sweet crawling in Vrindavan. Kabahuk dodi ghuturunu. कबहुक दौड़ी गुटरू वनी लपकत गिरत उठत पुनि धावे रे. Sometimes Krishna is crawling, sometimes he's crawling very fast, and sometimes he tries to stand up, holding the little finger of Nanda Baba. He's trying to make these little baby steps, and uthata girata. He stands up, takes one or two steps, and his grip slips through the hands of Nanda Baba's little finger, and he falls down again, and he starts to cry, Baba, I can't walk. I can't walk. I have no teeth complete. I don't have developed all my teeth, and I can't even walk. What future has in store for me, I don't know. Nanda Baba says, Gopal, don't worry. Stand up. Try again, Gopal. Try again. So, lapakata girata uthata puni dhavairi. He sometimes crawls, sometimes holds onto the tail of a calf, sometimes holds onto the little finger of Nanda Baba and tries to stand, slips down and falls again, cries. Nanda Baba picks him up, pats him, plays with him, again puts him on the ground. Again he crawls, and sometimes again he tries to stand, and this Leela continues. And look at this. Itete Nanda bulai let hai, utate janani bulave re. Nanda and Yashoda have a competition. Let Krishna crawl in the middle. You call Krishna from one side, and I'll call Krishna from the other side, and we will see whom Krishna comes to. We will see whether the crawling baby loves the father more than the mother, or the mother more than the father. Itate Nanda bulai lete hain, utate janani bulavairi. Here Baba is calling, there Maiya is calling. Dampati hod karat aapas mein, syam khilona kin ho re. Like Nanda and Yashoda give toys to Krishna to play. Now Krishna has become a toy for Nanda and Yashoda to play. Both of them are having mutual contest and competition on who is going to win, whether it is the mother or whether it is the father. And between the Maiya, Yashoda and Baba, Nanda Baba, mother and the father, Krishna becomes the stuffed toy, the crawling, moving, love-filled, butter-filled, affection-filled, cute, innocent, center of all attention, stealer of all hearts. Krishna is the khilona, he is the toy. Surdas Prabhu Brahma Sanatan Sutahita Karidoli Nore. That Supreme Lord who is the eternal source for all living beings. He who is the Lord, the creator, the origin, the source of all that exists. He has become a child. He has become a baby, and Nanda and Yashoda don't know anything in their life except this reality that we are the parents and Gopal is our child. How wonderful, how beautiful. So as Krishna is crawling and Nanda and Yashoda are calling, sometimes when Nanda calls, Krishna goes to Nanda Baba. Then when Maiya calls, he goes to Maiya. Then again Nanda Baba calls, he goes to Nanda Maharaj. And then Maiya calls, again he goes to Maiya to teach all of us this principle that Mad Bhaktaha Yatra Gayanti Tatra Tishtami Narada. Doesn't matter whether it is Nanda or Yashoda, doesn't matter whether it is Draupadi, doesn't matter whether it is Dhruva or Prahlad or Gajendra. Wherever devotees with affection call out to Krishna, Krishna appears there in full potency. So let Krishna and Balaram crawl, so much more to come. We will continue our discussion tomorrow. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Balya Swarup, Bal Gopal ki jai, Yashoda Nandan ki jai, Nandanandan ki jai, Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Gaudiya Guru Varga ki jai, Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai, परम दयाल शिला गुरुदेव की जय, अनंत कोटि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे श्याम. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, dear Amarendra Prabhu. Such a sweet katha. But today, instead of me talking anything, we have Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji, so I would request Prabhuji to please share the nectar drop, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Amarendra Prabhu. Although it was a shorter class today, it's every day your sweetness is increasing. After taking us through the greatness of Krishna in the beginning days, now we are describing the sweetness of Krishna. Today we have learned a lot about Krishna and Balaram, how Krishna and Balaram look similar to each other when they're sleeping. And the internal difference between Krishna and Balaram is that one is in the mode of a master, other is in the mode of servant. And the external difference is one is in the form of dark monsoon cloud and other has the complexion of white spring cloud. And now I understood why Balramji's hand is on Krishna's shoulder. As you were describing, I immediately opened internet and saw Krishna Balram Darshan, Vrindavan Darshan. Yeah, Krishna is stronger. Balram is strong, but Krishna is stronger. Then he also mentioned about Krishna and Balaram crawling. That's like massaging the back of Mother Earth. That's amazing. Janubhyam sahapanibhyam. When they are using their hands and knees to crawl on Mother Earth is feeling that sensation of somewhat massaging her. Just like when Mandara mountain was rotating at the back of Kurmadev, Kurma is also feeling massage on his back. So when you were saying this, I remembered this beautiful shloka from the first canto. Kavasa heta viraham purushottamasya premavaloka ruchirasmita velgu jalpaihi sthiryam samanamaharan madhumaninina romotsavo mamayadanghrivitankitaya. Mother Earth, after Krishna's disappearance, she was sharing her feelings of separation from Krishna in front of Dharma Bull. She says, Kava saheta viraham purushottamasya, who can tolerate the pangs of separation from Krishna? Premavaloka, with his loving glances. Ruchirasmita, with his pleasing smiles. Valgu jalpaihi, with his hearty conversations. Sthiryam samanamaharan madhumaninam. He completely subdues the passion and wrath of his sweethearts like Satyabhama. Romotsavo mamaydangharivatankitaya. My hairs are standing on end as Krishna is walking. That's what I learned long back. But now I understood as Krishna is crawling, not walking. So because Krishna doesn't wear shoes when he's walking in Vrindavan, so definitely Mother Earth was imprinted in Vrindavan. Mother Earth is imprinted with Krishna's footprints, and now we understood that when Krishna is crawling, his hands are also in touch with Mother Earth. His knees are in touch with Mother Earth. His legs, feet are in touch with Mother Earth. So Mother Earth is getting embrace of Krishna almost. That's amazing, Prabhu. And you gave a big list of 3 lines. 3 lines on his belly, 3 lines on his waist, this side and this side, 3 lines on the neck. Shiva has 3 lines on the forehead. So to add one more to your list, 3 lines on Balaji. So Sri Vaishnava Tilak 3 lines. So this reminded me of one beautiful shloka. This is from Garga Samhita. Balam mukundamati sundara balakelim drishtva param mutamavaapurativa gopyah Srinanda Rajavrajamedya graham vihaya sarvastu vismrita grahaha sukha vigrahastah. So he says, Balam Mukundam Atisundara Balakeli. When Mukunda is very small, Bala, Atisundara, his Balakeli, his childhood pastimes are very, very beautiful. Drishtva, seeing those beautiful childhood pastimes, Param Mudam Avapur Ativa Gopyaha. All the gopis of Vrindavan, motherly gopis of Vrindavan, they are experiencing great bliss. And they spend more time in Mother Yashoda's home than their own homes. They give more time to Krishna than their own kids. So Srinanda Raja Brajametya Graham Vihaya. They give up their homes, they come to Nanda Maharaja's home, they spend time with Yashoda Mata. Because all the Balya Leelas of Krishna are like Angana Darshaniya. They are more accessible and relishable to the Vatsalya Gopis. So Sarvastu Vismrita Grahaha, they are forgotten their homes. Sukha Vigrahaste, they are absorbed in great happiness assisting Mother Yashoda like Dhatris in her service to Krishna. So because you have ordered me yesterday to share something apart from giving
Sadhu,
a story
sadhu,
about
sadhu,
that.
sadhu. So nice, so nice. So nice, so beautiful. I requested you, and very kindly you accepted my request, and I think we're all celebrating. As soon as you started speaking about Mandara Mountain on the back of Kurmadev, the firecrackers had started. Diwali celebration began. The Diwali celebration of your beautiful Harikatha. Thank you, Gauranga Darshan. Your time is so invaluable, and you're still very kindly coming and giving us your association. Right, everyone on the call? We're all feeling so blessed.
I'm here just to take your association and just having my quota of nourishment, Kartik nourishment every day. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you. Jagannath Krishna Prabhu, thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much, dear devotees. So let's pay our gratitude to both wonderful devotees who have just come here to bless us with their wonderful Harikatha. So please, and we'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same place for Lord Krishna's pastimes, the Charvi pastimes, and in about 2 hours to hear about Venu Gita.
Before we wrap up, can we all appreciate our Jagannath Krishna Prabhu spending so much time day after day after day? He works a full-time job. He's so busy, and you don't have to hide behind your picture, Prabhu. You can come on the screen. Please switch on your video. We want to see you. Your picture was still you. So that's like a DT form of you. It's like God hiding behind his own DT. So can we all appreciate Jagannath Krishna Prabhu, who works a full-time job, lives in Canada, Toronto, Canada, and he keeps so busy with his IT job, but still twice every day, starting the class, ending the class, in English, in Hindi, and going on for 35 days. It's a lot of sacrifice of time and investment of energy, making sure that if there are hands raised in the middle of the class, he lowers them. He keeps everyone on mute. Even when the class begins, he goes live on YouTube. If there are comments on YouTube, he answers them. If there's anything that has to be done here, he takes care of all of that. So can we all chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra? I know we are all on mute, but from wherever we are, let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once for Jagannath Krishna Prabhu and family, so that they remain materially and spiritually protected for a long, long time to come. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you, Jagannath Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you very much, dear Amarendra. Such love and affection. Not worthy of that, but I will accept considering your prasad. So thank you. So the devotees, please join us in thanking His Guest Amarendra Prabhu for such a wonderful katha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Prabhupada ki
リスティング広告の運用にお困りの方へ、全国4200社以上の豊富な実績、
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय